Welcome back to the show. Tessa, it's just you and me today. We got a blank slate. We don't have any specific topics to talk about, but we've got a lot to talk about. How you doing today?
Hey Reuben, good. Before you hit record, you tactfully asked, "How you sleeping, Tess?" For anybody that's watching this podcast, the sleep has been a struggle the last few weeks. There's been a lot going on in my life, all good things, but I have not been sleeping great. So, but I'm looking forward to this show, Reuben. We've got a lot of things to touch on and a lot of topics we want to cover. So, should we dive
Yeah.
into it?
Yeah. Well, I've known you a while and I know what's up. It's been 10 years. I've known you for over 10 years now, Tess.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're right.
Long time. Yeah. We've been at this for a while. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Wow.
know when stuff's up. Um, on the other hand, I'm sleeping great. I'll tell you that.
Good
I
for you, Reuben.
I use this
You've got
thing.
your process dialed in.
Yeah, mostly. I kind of like, let's see. It took me about a week to recover from some really bad sleep about a week ago. I'll tell the story. Uh,
Yes,
but
please
I
do.
use this thing. It's like, a fitness tracker. It's called a Whoop, and it's something you wear on your wrist or your bicep. And, it's kind of like an Apple Watch or something like that. But all it does is collect data and it feeds it to your phone. And I have been getting crazy good results. I pulled it up here. Look at my sleep score. Oh, it's backwards. You can't
Okay.
see it. It says
Yeah, read it.
99. Okay.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and
Well, you're looking bright, chipper, and glowing right now.
Well, I feel it. I sleep sleep makes such a difference.
Sure
It's
does.
crazy, and it
It
gives you
sure
these
does.
nudges. And it was for a while. It was like my goal was always to hit 85% of what it tells me I need for sleep. But then I started comparing my scores to a bunch of other people at my gym. With this app, you can kind of have a community set up, and everybody uses
Okay.
it. You can see everyone else's, and I saw a couple people who would consistently get these super high scores. Like they'd get 99, 100 all the time. And it just kind of made me think, well, if they're doing it, why can't I do it? Why am I shooting for 85? And so
Hmm.
it's just kind of a testament to the people that you're around, and how when you're around people with a higher average than you, it brings up your average. I've said it
Yeah.
for a long time that it's good to be around people who you want to be like. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that's not even, I mean, that's not a new concept. There's
No.
books written about that. And I know we talk about that in IEB a lot.
Yep.
Surround yourself with the 5 people that you want to be most like and inspire you and challenge you
Yeah.
to be a better person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't
And then
coin that
you
idea.
become that. Yeah.
That's for
Well,
sure.
I was going to say, Ruben, and it's also a testament to you, though, too, because you are someone that when you set your mind to something, you do it. So if it's going to bed at 8:45 every night, even though there's a party going on, we're having a good time, people are
Oh,
mingling, you're gone.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're saying goodnight.
Well, you know what? I did make an exception last week. It was Halloween. My daughter,
Oh,
she's 14. She had a house party, and
you let her have a house party
my
at
wife and I
14.
let her have a house party, and we're both home, and I'm making everybody come in the front door, so I'm kind of monitoring who's coming. But it was like
All the
there's a
shady
lot of
characters,
kids coming, huh?
all the shady characters coming
All the
into your
shady
home.
characters, and it was kind of funny because you got all these trick or treaters coming, and I'd be coming to the door, and sometimes I'd come with candy, and like, no, we're here for the party. But there's a lot of kids who showed up, and they kind of went to the front door, and then they see me and my wife are home, and then they start backing up like, oh no, it's the wrong house. Like I think they expected to be going to some party where there's no parents, and
Yeah.
I
Those
mean,
little teens, my goodness,
yeah.
they cannot be trusted.
I thought about what I was doing at 14. It's like, I, oh, we're not going to talk about that, but I was
That's a whole
getting
other
into stuff I
episode.
shouldn't be getting into. Yeah. And, long story short, we said the cutoff time is 11, and my daughter's kicking everybody out. She's trying to get everybody out of the house at 11, still trying to get them out at like 11:30. And
Oh,
there's kids, they're not driving. They don't have a ride home. They're like out on the street. They're making noise. Cops end up coming. And at
oh,
some point, we've got like four cop cars at my house. And we're still not getting everybody out. People don't have rides. My wife and I
oh
didn't
my
end up
gosh.
going to bed until like 1 a.m. So it took me a few days to recover from that kind of sleep because I've got the internal clock. It doesn't matter how late I go to
Yeah,
bed. My clock wakes
yeah,
me up at the same time. So
yes,
yeah,
yes. Oh, Ruben, that's brutal. So the party just moved from your house to the street, and the neighbors called the cops.
I think so. I think so. And I don't know if it was one of the party goers or what. I don't know if somebody was mad, but woke up this morning and my house was teepeed. And
Wow.
my kids have some work to do on that. I don't know if it was related to that or not, but okay, we're on a
Oh
total
my
tangent. We're on a tangent.
goodness. Oh, well, congratulations on surviving
Yep.
a, teenage Halloween party at your house. Now you're braver than I would be.
my daughter, my daughter swore up and down, this is never happening again. It was a horrible idea, and she really regrets doing it. Um,
Really?
yeah,
Well, I think there's more to that story. Something must have happened.
yeah. For another time off the air. But at any rate, let me give a shout out to our show sponsors, IEB, Inspector Empire Builder. What jogged my memory is that in the past, when we would have the fall mastermind, it would happen right around Halloween. And there was always a dress up party for it. Remember? Oh, yeah, we've talked about it in the podcast. There was the one
Yeah,
year when I wasn't there. You dressed like me.
yes. Everybody recognized me too. I was the star of
So
the
funny.
show, of the day.
It's hilarious. But yeah, IEB, Inspector Empire Builder, great coaching group for home inspectors, lots of education. Love those guys. So uh, let's see. Okay, that's a shout out to them. I'll have a link to them in the show notes. A couple other things I wanted to cover today. Number one was a recent Facebook post that an agent put out there, and he emailed us ahead of time. He's like, hey, I wanted to call you guys out specifically, just want to make sure it's cool with you. I was like,
Hmm,
yes, please and thank you.
hmm,
Absolutely. And so he shares this, and I'm just gonna read it, because I thought this is so good. This is
yeah.
from Clint, Kipers. He's been using us for a very long time, and he shared an email that he received. Now, he had hired us. Well, he didn't hire us. He referred us. Our client hired us to do an inspection, and the listing agent, the real estate agent who has the house for sale, sent him an email and said, "Hey, I usually don't let structure tech in my listings because they're alarmists.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I did not see this request until just now." And so clearly it's like, the day of the inspection, the day before, or whatever.
What a
And this
mess.
agent is
Yeah.
going, well, you can do it, but I hate these guys. Something like that. And so he took the opportunity to make a post about that. He said, this is an email I received from a listing agent when I represented the buyer. There are a few things wrong here. First of all, buyers can choose whomever they would like to complete their home inspection. That can range, yeah, applause. Tessa's applauding. That can
Mm-hmm.
range from a professional company to doing a walkthrough with their dad. The
Mm-hmm.
buyer is in control, not me, and definitely not the listing agent.
Amen.
Amen, brother. Structure Tech is the inspection company that I recommend to my buyers. I make that recommendation because they are known to be the most thorough inspection company available. They have over 4,500 reviews on Google and a 5.0 score. That's pretty impressive. Clearly, their clients love them. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you will receive a lot of information from your inspection report, and that's a good thing. There's no need to fear information, issues with the house, or negotiating. The point of the inspection process is to do your due diligence. Getting as much information as possible is the point. And then he goes on to say, if you want to buy a house, I encourage you to hire an agent who operates out of knowledge and confidence, not fear. A
Oh,
thorough, detailed inspection report may cause more work for all parties, but you as the buyer will be better protected and better prepared to take ownership of your new home.
oh my gosh, Reuben, I didn't
Come
know
on,
you were
Clint.
writing under a new pen name. It's Clint.
Right? Isn't that fantastic?
It is fantastic. Has he been a real estate agent for a long time?
Long time. I don't even remember how
Oh.
far back he goes, but I mean, forever. He's been at it for a long time. Yes.
It's so refreshing to hear that from an agent because
Yes.
that is something that as a home inspector, we know that, and that's our job is to, give information to the buyer. They're hiring us and do a thorough job so they know what they're getting to educate them. But it is such a battle with navigating agents that are operating under fear mode or
Yes.
just they don't want the deal to blow up. They don't want to deal with a hefty report. They don't I mean, it's refreshing when a real estate agent is actually saying that. Um,
Yes.
Kudos
Yes.
to him.
So nice to hear it. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that we've been saying for a long time, but gosh, it's so nice to hear it from that side. And it's something
Yeah.
that we've really focused on for our target market is our market is not all home buyers. It's savvy home buyers who care. I mean, I'd love to say our target market is first-time home buyers, and we love doing inspections for first-time home buyers, and we do a
Yeah.
ton of them, but I gotta say it's not really our target market. When you get a first-time home buyer, they don't know the difference between a good home inspection and a bad one, and
Yeah.
we charge a lot more than a lot of other home inspectors. And when you got a first time buyer, a lot of the time they just assume that a home inspection is a commodity. You're just any
Mhm.
home inspector is going to tell you about all the big stuff, which
Yeah.
is simply not true. You can okay, I'm not going to dig into that, but
But
our
aren't there standards and certifications, Ruben, that protect home buyers out there?
I'm giving you the huge eye roll, Tessa, because I know you don't mean that question. I mean, the certifications, it's like,
Even
I
in
mean,
regulated states that do require, home inspectors to be licensed or certified, there can be a wide range of quality in what you get in a
yeah,
home
I mean, just
inspection.
because you're a licensed contractor, does that mean you're going to do a good job?
Right.
No, it means you've met the absolute minimum to be doing this job. So, so our target market is really more savvy home buyers. Once someone has bought a home, they've had a subpar home inspection, and I got to be honest, I think a large portion of home inspections done today are subpar home inspections where they're not checking a lot of stuff they ought to be checking. Once somebody has bought a house, gotten a subpar home inspection, they have an appreciation for what goes into a thorough home inspection. And
Mhm.
those are the people who really, really appreciate what we do.
Mhm.
It's really easy to impress a first time home buyer. They have no idea
Mhm.
what to expect. It's a lot tougher to impress a savvy home buyer, and those are the
Mhm.
people who really appreciate our services. But
Mhm.
also another part of our market is high integrity real estate agents. We've
Mhm.
said that for a long time, and we don't advertise that, but internally, that's what we tell our team. That's our target market is real estate agents with a lot of integrity, like Clint, like what he's doing here. So
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Thank you, Clint. Can you feature his post on a blog, Ruben?
What we reshared it on our
Yeah.
Facebook page, and
Yeah.
I might blog about this too. I surely will at some point in the future. You're right.
It's like that would be good information to anyone buying a home. Read this first.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're trying to use us and you get this type of resistance from the listing agent, let me repeat what he said. Uh, the buyers choose whomever they would like to complete their home inspection. It's not up to me. It's especially not up to the listing agent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. That was good. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of that, Reuben, didn't Structure Tech hire some new home inspectors? Are you in the process
Yeah.
of training? How is that going?
It's going great. We've got one guy who was in the damage restoration business for a long time. So dealing with flooded houses, fire damage, leaky
Huh.
roofs, all that kind of stuff. So he's got a solid background in damaged houses. And then I got another guy who was a home inspector in Las Vegas, in the Las Vegas area for 3 years. And we're usually pretty hesitant to hire people who have already been home inspectors because we want them to do stuff our way. But something I was telling them when we hired them was like, look, one of the core values that we're looking for is humility. Somebody who's trainable, and he's got that in spades. He's like, you know what? I've been doing it a long time. I am more than happy to learn how you guys do your stuff, and I will go through all the training as though it was day one, and I've never done it. It's like, dude,
Wow. Y-
you're in. You're in.
You're hired.
Yeah, you're hired. Yeah, really good attitude. So excited to be doing that. I'm using all of the stuff that you put together, really enjoying it. And
Cool.
I just spent the last couple hours going through the slide deck that you had for inspecting exteriors and roofs and chimneys, because I got to make sure it's all still relevant and updated with
There's
new blog posts I've done, new photos and whatever. I mean,
yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
changes, but I probably didn't change more than 5% of it. I mean, the rest of it is just, it's solid. It's so good. And it's all the stuff that you put together many years ago.
That's
So
awesome to hear. Well, Ruben, you created all the content. All I had to do was gather it and organize it.
we're just throwing it back and forth.
Here we go.
Yeah, it works really well. So I
Awesome.
appreciate all the work you put into that.
I'm glad it's
And
still relevant and still helpful.
yeah. And so it's a lot of classroom training right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're getting bombarded with new information.
Heck yes. Heck yes.
Drinking from a
And
fire hydrant.
yeah. All right, Tess, what's going on in your world? Anything new for you to share?
Well, there's been a lot of traveling back and forth, doing conferences, some teaching, some just attending. On behalf of the Energy Conservatory. And so I've had a little bit of a lull the last few weeks where I've been back in Florida. And I guess my time and energy has been taken up by other things. I will be moving again. So looking for a new place, signing a lease, preparing to move. And I'm also going back to Minnesota in a few days to help my parents move. So there's a lot of moves happening. And with the holidays around the corner too, it's just, it's life is busy but good. Life is
Yeah.
busy but good.
Yeah. You got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Hence the bags under the eyes, Reuben. It's true. I feel so tired. I have gotten used to waking up at 6 a.m. That's what my
Okay.
schedule is here.
Okay.
And when I'm in Florida, and the same thing, even if I go to bed at if I can't get to sleep, if I go to bed at 1, I still wake up at 6. And so it's like you just
Do you
can't
go
you
to bed
can't
at
catch up.
1?
I try not to. Sometimes I do. Usually it's around like 11 or midnight, maybe. I feel like I've been getting maybe 5 or 6 hours on the regular, and I need way more than that.
No can do, Tess. No. I
I
need you to
know.
fix this. It's not enough.
What? Teach me your ways, Ruben. Do I need to get a Whoop? What did you call it? Do I need a
Yeah, that's
do I
right. You
need a
need a
smart
Whoop
device?
so it
Yeah,
can bug you and tell you. And then,
can yell
about
at me.
7 p.m., it'll give you a summary of your day and say, look, you've had a rather stressful day. It's time to start with some wind down activity. It gives you these handcrafted AI summaries of your day
Does it?
and, what you did. Yeah, it does. I mean, it gives you it's several paragraphs.
Wait,
And
how does it know that you had a stressful day? I mean, other than like monitoring your heart rate, does it know the activities you're doing?
it, yeah, it's magic.
Like,
I don't,
like your brain was on superpower the last 4 hours working on this project. Like, it knows that?
It does monitor your stress levels throughout the day, and it's different from your heart
Wow.
rate. I don't know how it figures out your stress levels. I suppose if I Googled it or,
Well,
put it in my AI
I'm
machine, it could
curious
probably tell
now.
me how that happens. But yeah,
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
pages is showing your stress levels throughout the day. And if you have a high stress day, it'll tell you you should go to bed earlier. But I think part
Yeah.
of it is just, I've read a lot of books on sleep, and it's just having the right uh the right wind down activities. One of my rules is
Yeah.
no alcohol within 3 hours of bed. And I
Yeah.
I don't really drink much alcohol to start with. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll go several weeks where I don't have a drink.
Yeah.
But no alcohol within 3 hours of bed, no food within 2 hours of bed, no screens within 1 hour of bed. That's the three
That's the
two one
hardest one.
rule.
That's the hardest one for me, the screen
That's a
thing,
big
because I use
one.
that to wind down. Yeah, sometimes I do. I should be better about that. I don't think the screen keeps me up though. You know, uh, it's just life, and the scheduling of life right now is makes it challenging with the schedules of the people in my life. So that's
Sure.
part of it. Late nights, early mornings, and the travel too on top of it. But I was gonna say, what's interesting? One of the things I studied, this is one of my hobbies, and Ruben, that this is one of my hobbies, but was studying kind of like different personality types, energy types of people, and
Yeah.
I really dove into it, human design for a while, and I still love it and I still study it. But one thing it talks about is based on kind of your unique design,
Mhm.
how to best support um, your wind down and like how you sleep.
Yeah.
And for some people, they are designed to kind of basically like use all this energy creating things, doing things throughout the day, making things happen, building things, and they wake up, if they sleep well, they're well rested, use that energy throughout the day, and by the end of the day they're tired, they've used it up, they lay their head on the pillow and they pass out and their battery recharges while they're sleeping, and they wake up and they do it all again the next day. And there's other people whose energy does not work that way, where they don't have this kind of consistent battery pack that can get recharged, where they're actually kind of more of a sponge in the environments that they go into, and they're taking in other people's energies. And for those people, the wind down can be challenging and it might look completely different.
Sure.
For instance, my sister has one of each. And so one boy, he could literally go from running around all day to then just passing out and sleeping super hard all night. And the other boy could be behind in his sleep, but be around a ton of people who are really excited, and then not be able to get to sleep even though he's tired, and have a hard time staying asleep, and needs a lot of like quiet time, wind down time before he's ready for lights out.
Sure. Sure.
So it's just, I think you need to find what works for you, hopefully.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
found it. You've
I
clearly found it.
Yeah, I feel like I've got it dialed in pretty well because I've been a horrible sleeper for a long time, but feels
Yeah.
like I've started to kind of crack the code on it. But
Sounds
now we need you
good.
to crack the code, Tess.
I tell ya. Yeah, for sure. Well, if it was up to me, Ruben, I would work for 2 to 4 hours a day. I wouldn't wake up until 9. I would gradually start my day, probably around 10, and then I'd be done by 5. And I would just be the wind down. I would be a wind down process and a wind up process most of the day.
That sounds great.
Well, I'll
That
tell
sounds
you what
great.
though. Honestly, with my energy type, I can go on like I can do go mode for a while. I can kind of do hypersonic speed for a while when I have to, but then I crash and I need to catch up
Sure.
and it takes me a while. So I can go
Yeah.
several days of like kind of intense energy and intense engagement and thinking and all of that, working really hard, being super efficient. But then I crash and I need time to recover from that. So my energy is like not very consistent. It kind of comes in waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're very different that way. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very different. But studying all of this, human design has really helped me understand myself better, to know how to maximize my efficiency and kind of also know how I best operate in the world and understand that's okay because I've been surrounded by people like you my whole life and I'm like, why can't I just keep going consistently like this? But also just gives me patience for people in my life and my relationships that I have and understanding, my partner and nieces, nephews, family, friends, all of that better.
Yeah.
So cracking the code on other people too is helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. We went down a rabbit
All
hole
right.
on that one. Okay, bringing it
Yeah.
back to structure
This is
tech.
the
There
sleep
was something else that you
episode.
wanted to talk about today, wasn't there?
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna talk about an inspection I did recently with someone on the well, it was Corey. I can share who it was. I like to do ride-alongs with people on the team as much as possible. I mean, I say as much as possible. Okay, I don't mean that. I try to do at least 2 a month.
Okay.
And it
Yeah, that's
doesn't
good.
always happen. But I was doing a ride along with Corey the other day, and it was kind of out of the blue. It was like, wait a minute, I've got time tomorrow. I'm going with someone. All right, who's where? Corey. I'm gonna come tag along with you. Cool? Yeah, cool. Come along. And it's this it's a larger house for Minneapolis. I think it was around 3,500,
Oh,
4,000 square feet, somewhere in there.
that's pretty big.
Pretty big for a Minneapolis home. If
Yeah,
you're
how
out in the
what
suburbs and it's a newer home, it doesn't feel that big
right.
because it was built that way.
The
But
rooms are big. Yeah.
yeah, you got bigger rooms. But this is just, it's a lot of rooms, and it has been worked on a lot. There's been a lot that has happened at this house.
Oh,
They got a All right, let me talk about some of the stuff. And it's old. It's about 100 years old.
okay.
And we charge more as houses get larger, and we also charge more as houses get older. It's not like we
Hmm.
have a flat thing that we add on, like we add $1 for every year or $2 for every year or something like that. No, we have a multiplier. So as it gets older, the price that we would already charge for the square footage, it gets multiplied, as it should. So we
Yeah,
charge a
that's a
lot more for
doozy. A
bigger,
hundred
older
year old
houses.
Yeah, 100-year-old 3,500 square foot house in Minneapolis.
Yeah, yeah. And so let me talk through some of the stuff that it had that makes it worth charging more. It makes it worth the clients paying us more. We had a detached garage with its own electric service. You had a separate service shop going to the garage.
Oh.
You got a pool and a hot tub. Now, we don't inspect pools and hot tubs, but it's got all that in the backyard. And then it had the electric service for the house, but then it had a sub panel next to it. And then there's another breaker with a label that it said another sub panel. And Corey couldn't find that one. He's like, I looked all over this, and this, and I'm sure there's another sub panel somewhere. I'm not done in here, but if you could find that, that would really help me. And I ended up
Oh.
finding it. It was inside of a cabinet. And there's a million cabinets in the basement. It was inside another cabinet. Found that. It was an
Oh,
old Pushmatic panel. Remember those? The
oh,
Bulldog
wow.
Pushmatic? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had one of those. And then for the heating system, well, for the heating and cooling, the HVAC, it had an air handler in the basement, which provided AC basically just to the basement. And then it had another air handler on the third story and a separate AC system that provided AC to the third floor, second floor, and first floor.
Huh.
And when we arrived on a, I don't know, 50-degree day or whatever, it was running. It was running, and it was all
AC was
frozen.
running?
The AC was running, and the refrigerant lines were all covered in ice. And you could look inside the compressor; it's all covered in ice or frost, whatever. It was a pretty thick layer. So of course, we take
Yeah.
pictures of that immediately. Take
Yeah.
pictures of the thermostat setting. Like, look, if something's broken, we didn't break it. I
Yeah.
don't know why you're running your AC, but that was running. and it was not a heat pump. I know you're going to ask that. We
Yeah,
checked.
well,
I mean,
just
it's
saying,
not
there's a
going to
lot of
frost up
internal
if it is a heat pump, but huh?
there's a lot of if it's 50 degrees outside and they've got the AC running, just man, I guess the house is doing a good job keeping the heat in.
Uh,
Crack a
well,
window.
well, no, that's because it also had a boiler for heat, and the boiler was running too.
Oh,
So
no.
the systems were fighting each other.
Oh my
At
gosh, the boiler and the AC running at the same time.
same time,
Terrible.
and it's a relatively new boiler, but Tessa, they've got it was like 4 or 5 um, zone controls on the pipes where it opens and closes the valves to let hot water through. They've got a ton of those. They've got heat provided to the garage. You got an old dial thermostat there, and then
Oh,
you've got thermostats all over the house. They're all Wi-Fi thermostats, and I think we found like 4 of them or something, but Corey still couldn't get the heat to turn on to the basement by the time I showed up. He wasn't there for that long. He was just kind of doing his quick once over. He's like, Reuben, if you can take over and inspect the HVAC, that would be huge. Oh, and it's got a
yeah.
mini split on the porch,
Oh my gosh.
which we can't find the remote for. And so, I mean, it's got all these different systems,
That'd be a great
and
training house for your new inspectors.
it would have been a great training house. Yes, I should have taken a long video, and then in-floor
Oh,
heat in
man.
a bathroom, on top of that. And so
Oh,
I'm like, yeah,
man.
I'll inspect this. I'll try to get to the bottom of it. And I can just tell you now what it had. But when I got there, all I knew was it's got thermostats everywhere and it got a couple air handlers and a boiler and who knows what else.
It's
It
like
took
my
a
worst
while.
nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so time consuming. And I
Mhm.
finally found the heat to the basement. It's like tucked away in this corner that you wouldn't even think to look at. Finally found that thermostat. And and then on coming into the boiler, here's one of the pumps, and we've got open spliced wiring going to a pump. It's 120-volt wiring. It's just open spliced, just right out in the air. And it's easy to look over that stuff when you're looking at mechanical equipment as a home inspector because thermostat wires will have open splices, and a lot of the time
Yeah.
they'll use Romex for a thermostat wire. So you can kind of look at it and go, no, that's fine. It's low voltage. But no, this was not low voltage. It's just open splices, and there's a
Um,
wire just dangling in the air, a neutral wire that's not connected to the wire nut. Like, okay, I think that's supposed to be connected somewhere, but I'm not
oh,
gonna mess with it. You know, it so it took a while to figure all this out, and one of the thermostats, one of the Wi-Fi thermostats was just sitting on the kitchen counter, like just sitting there. Okay, what does this do? And several of them were giving error codes. And then it also had, for a water heater, it had a Boilermate, which, for if anyone doesn't know what that is, it's not an independent water heater. It's basically just a big old tank that your potable water goes into, and then the boiler pipe goes in and it wraps around the tank inside a whole bunch of times and then comes back out. And when the tank starts getting cold, the boiler mate tells the boiler, hey, I'm getting cold. And then the boiler kicks on and you have a pump a bunch of hot water through there to heat the potable water, and the two different water systems never mix. That was giving an error code the minute we showed up too. It was saying error, blah, 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 high limit. And so we take pictures of all this stuff, all these error codes. Like, look,
ugh,
this system ain't working right to start with. And
wow.
I ended up figuring out all the things that worked, documented all the radiators that did not heat up no matter, we turned all the thermostats up. None of
Oh
a
my
bunch of
gosh.
radiators never turned on. And
Jeez.
then it gave about 3 hours into the inspection, the boiler shut down. It gave this error code and the whole screen turns red. It's a newer boiler, not the old style. It's a wall mounted high efficiency boiler with the direct vent pipes. And it's telling me, I don't remember what it said. It said, I'm not working anymore today. I'm done. I'm taking the rest of the day off. And so I went in there and I did a manual reset. I shut it down. I restarted it, which, I feel like it felt a little iffy to even do that, but I thought, I don't want someone coming home to not having heat. And then it started working
Just
again.
turn off
Okay,
the
great.
AC and they'll be fine. No,
Oh,
just
I
kidding.
know, right? And so then I stuck around till the buyers came. Normally, when I attend inspections with my buyers, once the with my inspectors, excuse me, once the buyers show up, I'm taking off. I might say hi real quick, but it's like, all right, Corey's the inspector. You're in his hands. I was just coming out to hang out with him. I'll leave you in his good care. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Goodbye. But this was one where I thought, I got to explain all this to them, and I'm going to explain it to Corey as we go through because he's documenting all of it. And then we go back down to the boiler, and it's red again. It's not working again. So Corey left a long note to the seller, letting them know, hey, you got this error message, you got this, you got this. This is how it looked when I showed up, and now it's giving this error message. And then the next day, Eric, our service manager, gives me a call, and he's like, hey, Reuben, got a call from the owner at this house saying they don't have any heat. I happen to notice you were at the inspection, and Corey's in the middle of inspection, so I thought I'd just ask you, would you happen to know anything about it? I'm like, heck yeah, I do. Um, just don't even bother yourself with this, Eric. Give me the owner's number. Let me give her a call. And
Oh my
I ended up
gosh.
calling the homeowner, and she was, I mean, she was funny. She was really nice. And, she seemed really casual and laid back. She's like, you're the one who broke my house. No, just kidding. But I did get home, and there's no heat. And I wonder if you know what I could do, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, there was a lot of errors, and we left you a long note because of this. And the AC was running. And you may want to just try doing this manual reset. I did it, and it seemed to work for a while. And if that doesn't work, you're going to want to call your heating contractor. And
I don't want to take a
kind of,
bomb and blow your house up.
yeah,
Get
yeah.
all new HVAC.
Dude, she's telling me, because I'm asking her, I said, there's some radiators that didn't even work. And she's like, well, it all worked before I left. And I'm thinking, no, it didn't.
No.
And I said, what, there's a thermostat on your kitchen counter. What does that do? And she's like, I have no idea. I don't even know how any of this works. And I just want to go back to the days where we had dial thermostats. My husband knows where all this is, and he's out of town. And I just hate the whole system. And we've always got people coming out here to fix it, and
No
they're so
kidding.
expensive. And I'm thinking, yeah, this
No
sucks.
kidding. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but at some point the conversation kind of heads to, she's telling me, well, it was all working before you got here, and I don't think I should have to pay for this, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, it was giving us all kinds of error messages when we showed up. We took photos the second we showed up. These are defensive photos, and I'm not trying to sound defensive, but we
Yeah.
take these photos because we're the last ones in. And then when you get home and you have no heat, a lot of the time we get a call just like this where someone's saying it was working fine before you showed up.
Right.
That's why we got timestamp photos at 8:02 a.m. showing all these error messages. And she's like,
Man.
oh, so you mean just like I just said to you? I'm like, well, yeah. She's like, okay, all right, I get it. Well, how can I reset it? And I talked her through how to reset it. And she said, all
Wow.
right, well, I'll give it a shot. And she seemed a little frustrated. And I said, please let me know how it goes. Call me back. Let me know. And like 3 hours later, she called back. She's like, I just want to let you know, I reset it. It's all working. I have heat. And I really appreciate all your help with this. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to send my husband the bill for it. And, she says it jokingly. I'm like, you sound like you're very expensive. She goes, I am. It was good stuff. So it
Oh
all
my
turned
gosh.
out fine, but I just thought,
Yeah.
this is why we charge more for these old complicated houses. It's all of this extra stuff, all
Oh
of the extra
man.
time I spent. I mean, if it had just been Corey there, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how he would have possibly gotten this inspection done in
In
the 5.5 hours that we had scheduled the inspection for. I mean, normally we schedule a 4-hour inspection. But when they
Yeah.
get bigger and they get older, we schedule more time.
Yeah,
And
I mean, that sounds like at least a 6-hour inspection, and
yeah,
what yes, that is a nightmare situation when you have an old house like that with multiple different heating, cooling systems, and you're trying to figure out what thermostat does what, and you're having error codes and complications with all the systems.
yes,
You need,
yes,
like, a second inspector who can just handle that and try and diagnose that while the other inspector is doing everything else. So,
yes,
that's lucky that you were out there for that. And also, I think it's a good just, good information for inspectors that are out there to, just a reminder, like, document everything because, um, I mean, all these issues that were going on with the systems, you've got the pictures that show the error codes and the timestamps, like you said, and you even took the time to write a long note that
yeah.
explained everything, and you still had to spend how long on the phone with this woman? Over an
It
hour,
was,
probably?
no, it was probably 15 minutes. I don't want to exaggerate. It was probably a
Well,
15-minute phone call.
you still had to spend time and bandwidth trying to calm a homeowner down who's still frustrated,
Oh
even though you
yeah.
explained everything and you didn't do everything, you didn't do anything. You
Well,
still had
yeah,
to
and I'm
yeah.
not telling the whole story. I mean, that's how long my phone call was, but of course, she had to call up and talk to the office. And
Ugh,
then the office says, "All right, we'll have Eric deal with it." And then
uh-huh.
normally Eric would call her, but Eric just saw I was there, so he didn't even make that call. He just asked
That's
me
lucky.
first. So I mean,
Yeah.
it could have been a lot more because if I
Yeah.
hadn't been there, Eric would have called her first, and then called Corey, and then just a lot of tap dancing. And odds are, if
Yeah.
if I hadn't been there, it's like we probably would have had to hire somebody to come out and reset it. It's just
My goodness.
it's so much work. So to your point, Tess, it's so important for home inspectors to document exactly what you got the second you show up and get in front of this stuff. Anticipate these
Yeah.
complaints, these calls from homeowners, because anything that ain't working right, even if it wasn't working right when you showed up,
Yeah.
that's not how people remember it being.
Well, it's true. I mean, I'd say most homeowners, as long as their house is like feeling somewhat comfortable and it's not super hot or super cold, and it sounds like this house, it's big, it's rambling, it's old. She's probably used to some rooms being warmer, some rooms being colder, the temperature
Yeah.
fluctuations. But on average, like most homeowners are not going down to the basement looking at their boiler and seeing the error codes that are coming out on it, or they're not inspecting the refrigerant lines to see all the ice on them. Like
Yes.
she doesn't even know what the thermostats do. So she has no clue that she's got two systems running that are fighting each other at the same time.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
that so again, it's like yes, put yourself in the homeowner's shoes and you've got to be able to kind of defend yourself and prove to them that what they thought was working actually was not.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So
Yeah. Wait,
had to
houses like that are just you know what? I think there's some houses that are doozies out there, and anytime you've got a house that's over 100 years old that's that big, you know it's gonna be a landmine.
yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time, and we are
Yeah.
unapologetic about charging what we do for those houses, because it's like, "Look,
How
if you
much
don't
can I
wanna
ask
pay
how
it,
much an
I will
inspection costs?
happily." It was,
Yeah.
gosh, I wanna say probably 1,200, 1,300, something like
Okay.
that.
And worth
Yeah.
every penny of that for two inspectors to be there for, a total of how many hours? Like maybe 8
Well, 10
hours?
hours. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay, 10 hours. Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you've got the CEO of the company out there trying to figure stuff out for you.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think they definitely got their money's worth out of that home
For
inspection.
sure. Oh,
Yep.
man, for sure. Well, poor Corey. Good job, Corey, for sticking with it.
Yeah, high five.
Oh, man, I would not
Well,
have wanted to write that report.
yeah, I looked over it. It was a long report, longer than average,
Right,
that's for sure. Yeah.
bet.
But
I bet.
but to Clint's point, when we were all done and we did the walkthrough, nobody was scared. It was just like,
Yeah.
look, they already know they're buying a big old house. It's got a lot of stuff. And
Oh,
it's not
man.
like we're telling them the sky's falling down. Just said, hey, you're getting some error codes. You're going to want to talk to the people who put the system in, figure out what all the thermostats do, figure out what this error code is. It's not the end of the world. You need to
Well,
figure out how it works.
And that's a very practical, laid back approach, Ruben. I would take it one step further and like ask the buyer, okay, have you ever owned a house before? Like, are you used to dealing with heating, cooling systems? Because this one's complicated. You've got all these different systems doing different things. And so you'll have to,
Yeah.
almost get maybe a lesson from the seller on what does what and how it works. So when you move in here, you know how to operate your house because
Yes.
this is not basic. This is college level.
Yes. Yes. And then, you know what? That's almost exactly what I told them. And it's
Yeah.
experienced home buyers, but I told them, look,
Yeah.
you need to have the seller show you what all these things do. You need to
Yeah.
have them figure out where the remote is for this thing. You
Yeah.
need a lesson. You need to spend some time with the owner. They're like, okay, yeah, cool, we can do that. I mean,
Oh,
they're chill. They're experienced home buyers. They're savvy home buyers.
well, I was gonna say
They are our target market.
exactly, exactly. That's, you'd have to be chill and experienced to own a house like that or want to buy a house like that after reading the report.
Yeah, yeah. It was
I
not seriously. It was not a house for a first time home buyer. And I mean, I hate
no.
saying that. And it's not like I'm gonna tell that to somebody if they are a first time home buyer. None of my business. But between you and me, Tess, I think there are
Yeah.
some houses that aren't good for first time home buyers. This is
Oh, agreed.
this is advanced
Agreed.
stuff.
Here's the thing. It's like, how much maintenance do you actually want to do? Do
Yeah,
you, because if you can't do it, then you're gonna have to hire someone to do it. And houses like this are expensive because they've got lots of parts that break and they don't work cohesively. So you're gonna have to have
yeah,
all these different contractors, someone to service the boiler, someone to service the AC, someone to service the mini split, someone to deal with all these other things, like in your speed dial, so that when this system goes down,
yeah,
you can get it fixed. And
yeah.
if you're okay with that, great. This is a good house for you.
Yep,
But just
yep.
understand it's not, not simple. And I wonder what the utility bills cost for a house like that monthly. You got the
I'm
boiler
sure it's
going and
high.
the AC going. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you got the hot tub and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yikes.
Pool heater.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Oh my
those are
gosh. I didn't,
expensive.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Heated
so much.
garage, you said? Yeah. Ooh,
Uh,
that's a
yeah,
lot.
the tuck under garage was heated. The detached garage was not. Yeah.
Oh, oh
Yep.
my goodness.
Yep. So,
Fun
um,
times. Fun times.
yeah, fun times. Just thought I'd share that story. It's
That's a
just
good
the stuff
one.
we get to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. That's all I got for today, Tess. But
Well, sounds
you know what?
good.
We got a show. We got a show.
It's time to wrap it up. If you're still with us, thank you. This has been
Yeah,
a
thanks for
hodgepodge
listening
of
to
a
us ramble
show.
about sleep and Halloween parties and all that other fun stuff.
Yeah. It's good to catch up with you, Ruben. We do have one more special guest coming on as part of this builder series. So I'm excited about that. But it'll be a few weeks away from now. So there'll probably
Okay,
be a gap in our series,
cool,
I'm guessing,
cool.
how we
Looking forward to
publish
that
this.
one
So
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, for our listeners, if you got any questions, thoughts, you want to talk about sleep, any tips for Tessa, she will take them. I know I will speak for her. You please email
Please.
us. Yeah, podcast at structuretech.com. We read them all, and we would love to hear from you. We'll catch you next time. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.